Hello, everyone, again. For those of you who haven't attended the Launchpad presentation, my name is Kamil, and I'm head of engineering operations at EnergyWeb. And for the sake of this presentation, I would like to go one level, let's say, lower on our stack, and explore really deep dive exploration of the SmartFlow, which is a product that is offered under the Launchpad. So, a little bit on the agenda side. I will tell you what is the SmartFlow and what actually are the principles of it, how it fits again into the EnergyWeb ecosystem, because this is the service and the product that really have a tight connections to all of the others components within it. What are the elements? A little bit like of a glossary, so you understand further all of the acronyms and what I will be describing. I will tell you about the benefits of using SmartFlow. Then we'll have a little bit of a demo, actually two parts demo, and obviously roadmap, so you know what to expect in the future from the SmartFlow itself. So just to start, what is the SmartFlow? First of all, it's a product offered under the Launchpad that allows you to create and manage the life cycle of worker node networks. That's the acronym of VNN, worker node solutions, and the business logic. Currently, in this version of the Launchpad, we have the support already for the business logic part and worker node solutions. And future ahead, in the very near future, I would say, we're also going to add the worker node networks management. So in principle, SmartFlow allows you to manage it, determine the business rules of all of those components, govern them, like for example, pause them, delete them, create them. All of that is wrapped on the Launchpad side under the SmartFlow product. And one thing to also, which is kind of important, I would say, to emphasize here, that SmartFlow in its core, when you are dealing with the creation of the business logic, offers you the way of creation it in the no-code, in principle, no-code environment with a really nice editor. And that means that it's really decreasing the entry level to that system. So you don't have to be a really hardcore IT guy to start, but rather even people that are not that proficient in the coding or whatever can start and tackle and try out the SmartFlow and design their own solutions. What are the elements of the SmartFlow? So there are three elements that I already mentioned: worker node networks. And worker node networks are the groupings of one or more worker node solutions serving a common purpose and following the same set of business rules, which is deployed on EnergyWeb X. So this is like a top level item. Network is the top level item that is governed or to be governed under the SmartFlow. Then we have the worker node solution, which is kind of like a business logic behavior and lifecycle controller, again deployed on EnergyWeb X and placed inside the worker node network. So single network can have multiple solutions, and each solution have a one-on-one business logic. And obviously we have the business logic. So some kind of I would say a piece of software, piece of program created in the no-code manner that captures your business logic that is deployed on IPFS, and later via the worker node solution and subscription to the worker node network, it is consumed and executed by the worker nodes. For example, the ones that some of you might be running on your local. Now, how does it fit into the scheme of the core EnergyWeb X ecosystem? So I showed you on the previous presentation how the Launchpad fits, but now we are targeting specifically the SmartFlow and its connection to the other things. So starting on the bottom, you see the Launchpad/SmartFlow. And this is the product, this is the SmartFlow. And this is the journey where the journey starts for the creators. Here, you can create worker node solution and the business logic and deploy it. Upon deployments, there are two things that happen. Firstly, there is a logic being deployed to the IPFS, so it becomes live and the logic lives there from that moment. And secondly, there is a worker node solution being deployed on the worker node palette on the EnergyWeb X. This worker node solution have a pointer to that logic on IPFS, and all of the, let's say, business details that are defining that logic are also stored on the Energy WebEx. Once it's there, it is being added to the worker node network. And from that moment, as you see on the right, we have the marketplace app and worker nodes, but obviously it can be in the future also a worker node that is running in the server version. Worker nodes that are subscribed to the worker node network starts to download the logic from the having, let's say, a pointer from the solution that is also there. So the worker nodes now fetch the logic from the IPFS, fetch the, let's say, business and technical details on how to run that logic from the worker network solution, and within the context of the network itself starts to execute this. Now a little bit about the benefits and why actually why would you like to use SmartFlow? What's the benefit? What are the advantages? First of all, it removes the ops overhead. So whenever you are dealing with some sort of programs and so on, it's not always that easy. You need some sort of IT department to be in production. So with SmartFlow, this is abstracted from it. You don't really need to bother on that. Also, it decreases the entry level because it's a no-code tool. So really, you don't need to be, again, a really proficient in coding to start and start creating a flows. It gives you the easy access to the decentralized network of nodes. So from the moment you start using the SmartFlow you start to creating solutions and logics, you can deploy to a vast amount of different nodes that immediately will start executing your flow. Gives the transparency if needed. So basically, with the possibility to submit result to the blockchain, it gives you that layer if you basically want. And finally, as it was mentioned also on the previous presentation, it provides this connection from the two worlds, from the world of the creators or enterprises that come here to create their logic, to encapsulate it in the solution, and on the other hand side, it ships that logic to the executors that are running the worker nodes. This slide is also nicely, I would say, encapsulating the life, or maybe not the life, but the way how it is without the SmartFlow or with the SmartFlow. So obviously, without the SmartFlow, it will not be that easy to have the same setup, especially the centralized network of nodes that are executing your program. You need to have some sort of inputs of some sort of code, compile it, then ship it to the desired infrastructure platform, and run it. Take a look and obviously maintain it. So it's not that simple. You need people for that very often, and obviously it's a burden. It's an overhead. However, with SmartFlow, you don't really need to focus about this shipment or this or way how the decentralization be achieved. You only need to focus on the logic creation, so the actual core to your business problem, and the rest is being handled by the SmartFlow. And now I would like to move to the demo. It will have two parts. In first part, I will show you around the SmartFlow in itself, and we will together deploy some solution and create a logic. And the second part is where I will show you the pre-created solution that is running a very simple Oracle. And this is already there. It's submitting the result. And I would like to show you, just to have a glimpse what is possible. Obviously, it would be a simple example, but can be enhanced. So let's jump to the SmartFlow. So this is the SmartFlow. I'm already subscribed, so I'm able to create new items here. And we will start by creating new SmartFlow. This nomenclature might be sometimes confusing, but the business logic or the flows we also tend to name smart flows. So the SmartFlow is a product, second one can be a business logic. We continue, we create. You are presented with a screen where you are able to choose either a blank editor, so you want to create everything from your scratch, or maybe import from other source, and also you are presented with the templates that are shipped currently from us by the Energy Web, But obviously, we are also thinking about maybe providing the way to include your templates for the community, because this will be also possible. So that way, this chunk of let's say choice will grow. So I will choose the template. With a template, you have a description of it, what it tackles, what kind of business problem is addressed. Let's use this one. Let's give it a name. This is just for the sake of this. And then you save it. And once it's saved, it's not yet live, it's in the draft mode, and you can open and see what's inside that template. So here, as I clicked, it loads the actual logic that is inside, which is a Node-RED editor, and you have all of the sort of blocks, building blocks that are encapsulating the logic. It has pretty vast possibilities, and as you see, a lot of functionalities are there as just nodes to drag and drop. Once you are satisfied with whatever you see or whatever you have, you just save it. You can then close the editor and you can publish it to IPFS. Once it's published, it's already available for you to be used in the worker network, worker node solutions. So now let's create one. Let's create a worker network. Here you are asked to specify different chunks of information that will be going to the blockchain. So like namespace, name, description. I will just go with the dummy information for the sake of time. There is this question. I'm not sure whether it's visible, but the question is audit for production deployment. I will explain what it is and what kind of switch it is and what kind of change it applies to. But for now, let's just put it as a no. Let's continue. Let's select a logic. I will use the one that I pre-created earlier and then choose the editor. Here, I need to specify the expiration block. So which is, in the blockchain world, you don't operate more on time, but rather on the blocks. So this is the determination where up to what time your solution should be valid. And given its energy WebEx, I can check it here. That current block is 1,400,000. So I'll choose something that is higher than that. 1, 2, 3, and I click register. And upon the registration, a couple of things happens. First of all, it can be easily visible here that all of those inputs that I provided are encapsulated here. So later you can view them. You can see what was done. In the solution workload, the work logic that I chose is determined and the environment. And all of those inputs that you previously inputted are there. And the SmartFlow takes it and publishes this solution on the blockchain, on Energy WebEx. And we should, see that it's there. We should be able to see it also here in the events. So as you see, this is one event, worker node palette solution created, and then worker node palette solution added to the group. Solution name demo event. It was added in the SmartFlow playground. And bear in mind, I will not be showing you this, but if you have your marketplace apps right now, you can go to the SmartFlow playground and go for the basically tab that defines the solutions that are inside. And you should be able to see that one. Currently it's in the pause state, but I can also activate this. And once it's activated, all of the playground workers that are currently subscribed to the SmartFlow playground will download that flow and start executing it. Normally, there is some initialization period, so it will not be immediately visible. Rather, we will need to wait a couple of minutes. But on the side of the marketplace app, even if you don't able to subscribe to the SmartFlow playground, you should be able to see soon that solution as it was activated by me. So let's give it a minute for activate, and we can get back to that one in a couple of minutes. And might be one more thing. As you see, we have a new event, that demo event, old status was paused and active. And again, in a couple of minutes, we should see the submission results from those workers. And that's more or less the first part of the demo. So you see that you can control the solution, you can deploy it, you can create a logic, you can activate, pause it, determine the details. And now I will jump into the second part of the demo and show you this Oracle that is pre-created earlier. And it's also in the SmartFlow playground. So the solution for that is also deployed in the SmartFlow playground. So bear in mind, I will explain how does it work. So we have the solution that looks like this. It has the two, let's say, sources of data. One is taking the Bitcoin price, another is taking Ethereum price. It is basically fetching it from free API from CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. Then it's applying some changes to the values, concatenating it, and then this function basically calculates the ratio. So Ethereum divided by Bitcoin price, basically. And this one runs, the one that I open runs every minute, but normally the one that was pre-created runs every 30 minutes. And this is being executed by all of the workers that are currently subscribed to the SmartFlow playground. I think there are roughly 5 of them. And this is operational. And apart from that, because that's the key thing what I want to show you. Apart from that, we have a backend service that does the same operation, which is prepared to validate whether whatever workers are doing is actually true. Because I want to basically validate. Of course, I trust the workers, but I want to validate what's there. And this backend service is like every half an hour creating a new file that is stored in a public S3. This file, when you open it, looks like this. It basically provides a timestamp, Bitcoin price, Ethereum price, and the ETH to BTC ratio. And now I will show you that this ratio from that timestamp that was calculated by this backend service that is running under the hood is the same. We can validate it together. Is the same as the results that the workers are submitting. So what I need to do is take this ratio. There is a thing in utilities in Polka.js called hash data, and I'm going to hash it. That's one thing. Then what I did previously, I also took the timestamp that was from today's morning, 10:30 is CAT, but GMT it was 8:30, and I calculated the Unix timestamp, which is this. And now, for this Unix timestamp, I will just put it here. I go to Chainsted, then go worker node palette, solution results. This is the name of that solution that has this logic. I'm just running this query. And as you see, I have all of the submissions from the workers for that timestamp. And there they have the hash. And now let's validate whether this hash is the same one as our backend service produced. So I hash the data here. I'll just copy and do the simple thing, Control F, Control V. And as you see, it matches. So basically the backend service did the same operation. I can hash it and see that the result is the same. And the workers did the same thing, although what they submitted to the blockchain was not the actual result, because maybe you don't want this, but just a hash of that result. So this is for transparency reasons, what you can validate. And now I would say that's all from the Oracle part. And now let's back to this first part of the demo, because actually I see that let's say result submission have started to come. As you can see in here, we have the demo event, which was the solution that we deployed, and we have the timestamp and the result. So our playground, so the workers subscribed to the SmartFlow playground started executing the flow that we just deployed. Yeah, and that's actually finishing the part of the demo, and we can get back to the presentation. So you see what's possible. You see how it is working together. You see that actually once I deploy, the solution results are coming, and that is actually executed. And now I would like to tell you about two things. First one is the current flow on the SmartFlow and what are the options, and then move forward to what you can expect further this year. So this is the current flow, how it is wrapped around the SmartFlow. And as you remember, when we were creating worker node solution, there was a question, audit for production deployment, and I choose no. When you choose no, when you are creating a new solution, this solution is shipped to the Energy WebEx and is being added to the work to SmartFlow Playground. And it's immediately picked by the workers and being run. But SmartFlow Playground has only exposure to 5 to 10 workers. It's not incentivized pools as well. But you have an alternative option. You can choose yes for production deployment. And when you do that, your solution is also deployed to the SmartFlow Playground, but also on that site, there is a request to audit that solution. And this comes to Energy Web. And once we validate your solution and check whether it's like the contents of are all fine and suitable for the public pool, we remove it from the playground and we ship it to the actual SmartFlow public pool. So your solution, if it is audited properly and it's confirmed, will be added to the SmartFlow worker node network. And all of those, I think there are roughly several hundreds workers are already subscribed to it, will download it and start executing it. So that's the current flow. And now let's move to the final piece, which is a roadmap. So you saw what is happening right now, what is possible, and what is coming are a couple of things. First one, and this is the biggest chunk, and this is really the biggest upgrade that we're going to have to the SmartFlow. We're gonna enable worker node networks lifecycle and management support. So again, we have right now the business logic management and the solutions management, but not the networks. And this will be the next step. This highest level in the hierarchy, which are networks, will be also possible to be managed from the SmartFlow. There will also come the grant program integration that will allow you to, for example, request for your networks to be incentivized and supplied with maybe some tokens to distribute. Plus, final thing that for sure will be important for people that are afraid of the transparency and want to put some kind of fragile, maybe secrets, maybe credentials to the flows. We're gonna enable public-private flow support. So we're gonna basically organize in such a way that if there is a need to access some external data source from the work logic, and you need to authenticate there'll be a way to do it in a safe manner. Yeah, and actually that's it, what I wanted to show you. I hope you didn't get bored. And yeah, thank you for attention. And yeah, please try out the Launchpad and SmartFlow. Thanks, cheers.